As the 24-hour total shutdown imposed by the Committee on Tribal Unity, CoTU, commenced at midnight on April 13, a sea of Kuki-Zo people inundated National Highway 2 at daybreak, protesting against the inhuman Phailengmol killing and shooting of innocent Kuki-Zo volunteers at Gamgipai and the willful disregard of the Model Code of Conduct by the Valley people and the armed militia. The simultaneous massive protest rally and the 24-hour total shutdown under the aegis of the Committee on Tribal Unity, Sadar Hills, crippled normal life in the district as all business establishments remained closed and vehicular movements were restricted except those exempted from the purview of the stir. The monumental 2-kilometer rally originating from Motbung, looping back at Gamgipai and returning, witnessed the fervent participation of thousands of Kuki-Zo, predominantly women, resounding with powerful chants such as Bihar Regiment Down Down, Enbiren Singh Shame Shame. We demand NIA intervention, separate administration now, and no separate administration, no solution. The remains of Kamminla Lupang and Kamleng Sa Loon Kim, the two Kuki-Zo volunteers in their 20s, lie unfound and unrecovered for burial. They were dragged, their faces brutalized, shot multiple times after desecrating, and their arms brutally hacked off with machetes. Speaking to the media, CoTU's media cell convener Loon Kipgen said that today's protest addresses the grave human rights violations and the Election Commission of India's silence regarding the blatant disregard of the Model Code of Conduct by the Meitei community and their armed militia. Their cowardly actions toward the bodies of two Kuki-Zo village volunteers are reprehensible, constituting one of the most gruesome human rights violations in recent memory, he added. He continued that the world woke up when two Kuki-Zo women were shamefully paraded naked by Meitei mobs in the presence of state forces, while adding that, despite brief statements, the Prime Minister stopped short of pointing fingers at the perpetrators. He also said that for the past 11 months, the Kuki-Zo community has suffered relentless atrocities at the hands of the majoritarian community, unfortunately led by fascist leaders. He further said that incidents such as this are a clear indication by the current dispensation to pivot the election mood from losing too fast, while adding that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah's choice of leadership in Manipur is one of BJP's greatest political miscalculations in the last decade. Additionally, Kipgen also questioned as to why the Phailengmol area and Kampupi district falls under the valley's police jurisdiction when it should be under Kampupi police, and urged the central government to instruct the state government to put the Phailengmol area under the Kampupi district police. While conveying the Kuki-Zo people's hope for the National Investigation Agency, CoTU's media cell convener Loon Kipgen urged the NIA to swing into action as it swung on the previous cases, stating that we too have video evidence for the case as much as they had verbal evidence then. Loon Kipgen underscored that despite the imminent conclusion of the 24-hour total shutdown on April 14 at midnight, the solemn duty of laying our fallen heroes to rest remains unfulfilled due to their bodies not being located, while adding that we reserve the right to engage in democratic protest until their bodies are returned to us. Meanwhile, Kuki Inpi Manipur and various other organizations including ITLF, KSO Sadar Hills, TYA Sadar Hills also condemned the gruesome, inhumane act of the Meitei militants.
No separate administration! No separate administration!
Our protest today is on the gross human rights violation at Phailengmol and the silence of State Election Commission on the willful disregard of election mode of conduct by the valley civilians as well as the armed militias. The cowardice action on the dead bodies of the Kuki-Zo villagers are despicable, with the most gruesome and gross human rights violation. In fact, prior to yesterday's incident, one innocent laborer was shot at Gamgipai too. Now, the world woke up when two Kuki-Zo women were paraded naked by radical Meitei mob in the presence of state security forces, which forced their prime minister to make a brief statement, but stopping short of pointing fingers at the Meitei community. For the past 11 months, we the Kuki-Zo had endured atrocities by the Majoritarian community, sadly led by a fascist leader. Now, incidents such as this during election time is a clear indication by the current dispensation to pivot the election mode from losing out too fast. Therefore, dear Prime Minister, your choice of appointment in the state of Manipur is one of your greatest political miscalculation for the party. And it is also questionable how Phailengmol area, which is under Saikul subdivision as island block, can come under Imphal East Police Station. Therefore, the central government should instruct the state to change its jurisdiction and let it come under Kangpopi Superintendent of Police. Now, we rest our case with the National Investigative Agency to take up a swift action as they have taken up in the previous case. We have video footages, video clips, as much as they have their verbal proof evidences for their case then. Now, our 24 hours total shutdown would expire this evening, this midnight, come midnight. But we like to state that, in fact, it is pertinent to point out that we have not received our dead body yet. So in the meantime, it is our inherent right as a community to take up any democratic means within this period of time.